What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, to me personally, this is pretty darn funny, but every single ex-developer who has worked at DICE finds Battlefield 2042 to not be one of the best in the franchise. Honestly, the majority of them find it to be one of the worst in the whole franchise, just like the rest of the community. A lot of times, I always think to myself that I'm going insane. I think that these new Call of Duty games are bad, or I'm thinking these Battlefield games are bad that are coming out here. Yet I'm still hearing they are gaining so much in sales, which is typical for, any type of AAA game out there. But I always equal sales to if people enjoy the game. If I see high sales numbers, I think, oh, that game is fantastic. But after 2042, and also after a lot of the other Call of Duty games I've released, like Cold War, Vanguard, and stuff like that, my mindset has changed now. And it's no longer about the sales, but it's about the actual feedback. And hearing all of these ex-developers come in and actually speak their opinions about these games and, confirm that I'm not going insane just proves the point even further. Now, here we are today with a brand new game that's going to be released, I believe, on all platforms, console and PC. I think it's free to play. Correct me in the comment section if I am wrong. But the game is called The Finals. This game has been put together by a bunch of ex-DICE developers working on some of the best OG Battlefield games you could possibly think of. And they strayed aside and put together this game right here. Now, I have to go ahead and be honest here. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, and I do appreciate all the OGs and also all the newcomers who decide to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification button as well, I really do appreciate it. We post daily FPS content on this channel. We also stream daily over on Twitch. The link to that is in the description. But if you've been following me for a while now, you've heard me say this multiple times in the past. My favorite atmosphere, or my favorite themes of a first-person shooter is more not realistic, because I like arcadey games, stuff like Call of Duty, Battlefield, or even like you're watching right here. This game is very arcadey as well. I like that style. But when it comes to the atmosphere, I prefer more, military vibes, nitty-gritty vibes, not really the Apex-style hero vibes. And that's what this game is kind of rubbing off on. But one thing that I've learned this year specifically is that I have to stop judging games for how they look, because I've missed out on one too many games in the past because I didn't think they looked like something I would enjoy. And then I try them years down the road and I'm like, holy crap, the gameplay, forget how it looks, the gameplay is where this game truly shines. And that's how I'm going to take an approach on this game right here, because once again, the graphics look more like something like Fortnite or Apex Legends, a little bit more cartoony, heroes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the gameplay is what truly counts for this experience, and from what I'm seeing in this footage, the gameplay looks phenomenal. And you can simply tell by just watching the trailer. You don't even have to play the game for yourself. You could just tell by looking at the footage in front of your eyes that clearly the OG developers who used to work at DICE know 110% what to do, how to make a solid experience, more than the current developers who are working on the Battlefield franchise. Even when they're not making a Battlefield game and they're making something like this, which is night and day differences when it comes to graphics and stuff like that, you can still see more of a DICE influence in this game than you see in Battlefield 2042. They absolutely embarrassed them. Now, there are some, tiny things here and there that they changed up to make the game unique. Like, I believe it's 3v3v3, or, 3 times from 4 different teams. It's either 3 teams or 4 teams of 3. God, I could have just said it that way, right? It would have been 10 times easier. Jesus Christ, man. But you get what I'm saying here. It's multiple teams of 3 within this game. And it's a cool concept. It's whatever. But what really caught my eye, and I think everybody's going to be talking about the same thing down in the comment section, is the destruction in this game. That's what caught my interest right off the bat. Again, I saw the graphics. I'm like, meh, I like military stuff. Seems all right. Maybe I'll give it a go. But once I saw that destruction, I knew 110% that I was going to be all in for this total experience. The OG DICE developers still know that current date, one of the main things people love to see in some video games is destruction. Maybe not Call of Duty fans, but, my goodness, whether you like attack shooters or just regular, war shooters, destruction is pretty popular. You think of something like Rainbow Six Siege, or you think of something like Battlefield, people like to be able to wreck stuff, drill through stuff. It adds not only a skill gap, but just different ways to approach situations. It doesn't fit in all games, don't get me wrong. It doesn't need to be in all experiences, but in stuff like this, it works fantastic. And my God, the destruction in this game is like what we saw back in the day times a trillion. I mean, we're going back to Bad Company 2 days except the graphic quality is, like I said, 2022 instead of all the way back when Bad Company 2 first dropped. But my main question here is, what the hell are you doing, DICE? Even current date, after revamping a bunch of your core maps, the destruction in Battlefield 2042 feels non-existent. These ex-DICE developers are putting together a game that isn't even like Battlefield. It's like I said, it's like not really a COD experience, not really a TAC experience. It's new, 3 to 4 teams of 3. It's interesting, but it's not Battlefield, right? They're making a game for a completely different audience, and they still have perfected the destruction system 10 trillion times better than the people who are currently working at DICE. And it blows my mind because there's still OGs at that development team. There's still people, GOATs, that have been working on this franchise for ages now, even before a bunch of them left with 2042, because as we all know, tons of developers have left the scene once 2042 dropped. Even before that, they had more developers who worked on the OG games. You're telling me none of them spread that knowledge? I can't put all the blame on the newcomers. They're new, that's like me going into a new job and being criticized for being ass at it. You know what I'm saying? Well, not ass, but you get what I'm saying here. Not being as experienced as some people who have been there for ages already. So it's hard to put the blame on all the newcomers coming to work for DICE and EA who have never made a Battlefield game in, a day in their life, and this is the first one they're putting together. Hard to blame them. You have to blame the higher ups. And I don't want to blame the OG devs, but it's partially their fault. What the hell were they telling these new individuals that they ended up with a title like Battlefield 2042, which lacks every last bit of atmosphere that Battlefield is known for? And I don't want to hear the excuse of 128 players and all that bullcrap, because you should have known destruction is a key factor. And if destruction didn't work in 128 players, it should have been cut out of the actual production of the game. Day one, it should have been cut out if you knew you weren't going to be able to keep up with performance. But instead, they kept it. They thought numbers were more crucial than the actual atmosphere of the game. So they gave us numbers, but they didn't give us any destruction. They didn't give us any environments that made us feel like we're actually there. None of them. They're all lifeless. They're all soulless. They're all boring. It blows my mind here. They better get their crap together within the next Battlefield game, because if not, like I said, this is proof right. I don't know what else to say. This is proof right here. These are DICE developers making this game. DICE developers put together this game, right? Like, I would play this over Battlefield 2042. Like, even though the atmosphere isn't exactly what I want, in Battlefield 2042, as much crap as I give it, I gotta be real. The new skins they're adding into the game, and, they're starting to cover up the specialist faces with really badass, outfits and stuff. I like where they're going with it, but I would rather play this. I'd rather play this and they add in unicorn skins than touch Battlefield 2042, because the gameplay is there, and it's not with the other Battlefield title. But putting Battlefield 2042 aside, the finals looks like a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be a game that I'm going to add into my rotation. So far, I'm thinking of maybe focusing a little bit more on Modern Warfare 2, World War 3. I'll definitely add this into the rotation. I want to play some more X-Defiant when they can actually get that out a little bit more to the public. I know they've mentioned a few things here and there, but I want them to, really come out and let us play it. I'm obviously excited for DMZ when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, so, there is a lineup. I'm sad there's nothing really like Battlefield that I could play right now besides World War 3. I really wanted Battlefield 2042 to be good. I waited such a long time after Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. I enjoyed Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 was a little iffy for me until the Pacific update came out, and I enjoyed it a bit more. But, having so many old school games in the Battlefield franchise for such a long time, so many years, I wanted something modern day, near futuristic, and, they brought it, but man, did they just not bring the vibes along with it. As much as I hate Battlefield 5, at least it felt like a Battlefield game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could talk as much crap as I want about it, and I still do till this day. But man, compared to 2042, at least 5 felt like a actual game that came from that franchise. So for the time being, from what I can see, this will probably be my Battlefield vibe game, They're not going to have any Battlefield game for a little while now, I don't believe. And, Ground War's cool and all, Modern Warfare 2, but, it's still COD. This right here, it's made by ex-DICE devs. I'll see how the gameplay feels. I'll see how the gunplay feels. I'll see if I enjoy the, like I said, the 3v3v3, all that stuff. But man, the destruction, though, that is what I'm pumped for, and I really hope it lives up to what they showed here in this trailer. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button if you hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new into the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with us, do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.